8 years with big plans to foster the new relationship between the U.S. and Cuba. But first, an AccuWeather alert. Spring is here, but so is the snow. Flakes started falling tonight, and many of you will face a messy morning commute. Good evening, I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Michelle Charlesworth, and for Sandra Bookman. Light snow has been coming down in New York City for a few hours in Times Square. Folks were bundled up and enjoying the light flakes.
As for road conditions in Queens, things aren't so bad. It could be different in the morning as the snow continues through the night. Alternate side parking has been suspended for tomorrow.
There are also some school delays on Long Island, which will get the most snow. Those are running at the bottom of the screen.
Meteorologist Jeff Smith tracking it all. He's here with the update on the storm. Jeff.
Well, the good news is so far temperatures have remained at or above freezing across much of the area, so that's precluding the snow from really accumulating on the roads and the sidewalks. A little bit of light snow here as we look down toward the Empire State Building. We do have a winter storm warning for eastern parts of Suffolk County right through 10 a.m. Monday. It's a winter weather advisory, western Long Island all the way down the Jersey Shore for the same time period right through 10 a.m. on Monday, although we do expect that snow to really come to an end around daybreak in and around New York City. It probably takes until that 10 a.m. time period to end over eastern Long Island. Here's the radar right now. Snow becoming more widespread, becoming steadier at the same time. I think the steadiest band here is from Ocean County up through eastern Monmouth County. We've had accumulation on grassy surfaces in both of these counties, and this heads up onto Long Island as well, that steadier band. And that's really where the heaviest snow will set up overnight. Right now, temperature around 33 in the park. Even on Long Island, where you're getting the heavier snow, still above freezing. I do expect that temperature to fall gradually overnight and allow some of that snow to begin accumulating on the roads. So snow accumulations probably around an inch or so in New York City on grassy areas, more like 2 or 3 inches just east of the city, 3 to 6 inches eastern Long Island, less, only a coating to an inch or so north and west. Roads in and around the city remaining mainly wet, but central and eastern Long Island will see travel impacts for the morning rush because A, the snow will have accumulated on the roads in those areas, and B, it still might be snowing for the morning commute. We'll detail that in your full AccuWeather forecast coming up. Michelle?
Thank you so much, Jeff. The snow has been falling in New Jersey tonight. This was the scene in Westfield in Union County. The snow there has already been sticking to the trees and the grass. But as we said, Long Island will bear the brunt of this storm. Commuters need to be ready for a slow commute tomorrow. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is in Dix Hills right now. Stefan, how are you?
Well, Michelle, this definitely doesn't feel like spring, and that white stuff, it's slightly falling from the sky now, at least where we are. It didn't really stick to the roads, but here on the LIE, you can see it's slick, and when it was coming down, it definitely created some visibility issues. Say it ain't snow, okay, so it's not exactly a winter wallop, but it's not what you'd expect to see on the first day of spring either. Winter storm watch warnings on the Long Island Expressway, and salt spreaders out and about in Suffolk County. Mother Nature not interested in what the calendar says, determined to have one last winter hurrah, catching some off guard.
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest with you, at 60 degrees last week, and I was wearing shorts, and now all of a sudden there's snow, and I'm wearing a hood, and it's craziness.
The weather, the way it was coming down. I didn't think it was going to come down. I'm hoping this is all. I really want the spring here.
But spring is technically here, even though it doesn't feel like it. And this first day, the tale of two seasons. With the sun breaking through at times earlier, it was hard to worry about one last winter blast.
Look how beautiful it is. The sun is out. It's very warm. I feel like I'm overdressed right now.
At home and gardening stores in Jericho, the forecast may have said winter, but the attitude was spring. Those bags of salt going nowhere. Plants and flowers, the hot ticket item. Many trying their best to look beyond tonight.
No salt. We have plenty of milk, plenty of bread. We're all good to go. It's not going to be that bad. It's fine. First day of spring. Wednesday, 60 degrees. No problem.
But before we get to Wednesday, we still have to deal with the Monday commute.
I think if it continues to do like this, we may have a little trouble in the morning.
And some say with it looking like this now, it'll be a sleepless night ahead.
I'll be watching the news all night tonight, you know, waking up sporadically, trying to keep an eye on how early I have to get up and start.
Now, again, there's no accumulation so far on the roads, but the real question is, what will this look like when we wake up in the morning? Reporting live in Dix Hill, Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Stefan, thank you. Remember, everyone can track the storm on their phones with the Eyewitness News AccuTrack Weather Alert app. A suspect in a slashing attack in Brooklyn is now in custody. Police arrested 25-year-old Gregory Alfred in Sayreville, New Jersey. Soon he will be brought back to New York City. Alfred is suspected of cutting the throat of a 53-year-old woman in Ditmas Park last week. The victim did survive the random attack, but she did need 13 stitches.
Cheers for President Obama and the First Family as they visited the Cathedral of Havana. For many Cubans, there is plenty of excitement surrounding this historic visit. The president touched down in Havana this afternoon, the first president to visit the island nation since Calvin Coolidge in 1928. The hope that this visit will bring big changes, not only for Cuba, but for the U.S. as well. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Havana with the story.
Good evening. A rainy welcome for President Obama here in Havana, starting a whirlwind two-day trip here that no other sitting U.S. president has made in nearly 90 years. A warm welcome to Cuba. President Obama taking a historic step forward in trying to mend the decades of tensions between the U.S. and this communist island nation.
It's been nearly 90 years since a U.S. president stepped foot in Cuba. It is wonderful to be here.
The president visiting with U.S. Embassy staff, playing tourist along with the First Family in Old Havana, past the vintage cars and weathered buildings before he sits down Monday with President Raul Castro.
It's a historic opportunity to forge new agreements and commercial deals, to build new ties between our two peoples, and for me to lay out my vision for a future that's brighter than our past.
But problems of the present in full view. Just before President Obama's arrival, outspoken opponents of the authoritarian Castro regime arrested, a part of the human rights concerns the president plans to discuss in a meeting here with some of the country's political dissidents.
He needs to challenge the regime. If you want to move forward with us in normalization, you got to do this.
And while there are plenty of critics of this visit and President Obama's mission here in Havana, we have seen clear excitement about the possibility of change here. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Havana, Cuba.
New Jersey has the largest Cuban-American community after Miami, and some welcome the president's visit to their home country. Others in Union City have a completely different point of view. They fear the visit may give the wrong impression about Cuba's human rights record.
They are taking this Obama visit like they respect human rights, and they are, selling this to the world. Oh, you see, Obama's coming here, and he said a few months ago that he only come to Cuba if we have improved human rights.
Another activist said the president's visit may give an unfortunate economic shot in the arm to a Cuban economy that was dying under the Castro regime. Investigators say a retired state trooper killed two people at a toll plaza on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. They say Clarence Briggs shot a toll collector and a security guard at the plaza near Fort Littleton this morning. As Briggs tried to flee with stolen toll money, troopers arrived, exchanged gunfire, and killed him. Briggs retired in 2012 with an honorable discharge after 26 years of service. And in Indiana, two sheriff's deputies trying to serve an arrest warrant were shot. One died. The deputies had entered a mobile home after no one answered the door. They came under gunfire and both were hit. Sergeant Jordan Buckley survived, but Deputy Carl Kuntz died at the hospital. A SWAT team eventually entered the home and found the suspected shooter dead.
To the campaign trail now. Continued campaigning out west with crucial races around the corner. This week's primaries are the Idaho Democratic Caucus, Utah, and Arizona, which is winner-take-all for Republicans. While she was not on the campaign trail herself, former President Clinton was campaigning on behalf of his wife Hillary in Arizona. He was joined by former Congresswoman and shooting victim Gabrielle Giffords, along with her husband, astronaut Mark Kelly. Bernie Sanders is already thinking about next weekend. He was in Washington State, which has its caucus on Saturday. On the Republican side, Donald Trump this evening in Florida took a swing at President Obama, saying that he should have turned the plane around before landing in Cuba. The focus from the other candidates is on him. Ted Cruz joked in Arizona that people should vote for him 10 times or at least find 9 friends to vote for him to avoid Trump securing the nomination. John Kasich said on the talk show circuit no one will have enough delegates. The party chairman is clearing up what determines the winner at the convention.
Nothing magical about the number. It's 50% plus 1. So no one's disenfranchised. In fact, they're enfranchised by receiving bound delegates based on the outcome of the elections. And so that's all it is. And so you have to have a majority in order to be the nominee of our party.
He also said there is a lot of misinformation floating around about the rules of the party. Joe?
3 people attacked with a machete. Tonight, witnesses described the chaotic scene in Queens and what sparked the suspect's rampage. Plus, a plane crash lands at a golf course. At the controls, a teenager. Hear why he's being hailed a hero tonight. And comedian Amy Schumer leaves the staff at the hit musical Hamilton speechless. Tonight, they rave about the generous gift she left behind.
Hi, I need a safe car.
The Camry's